I have 3 dates with 3 men who are outside of my tax bracket, and in talking with my coworker, it made me realize something that maybe you're not aware of either. By the way, if you want me to explain how I found these dates, I can do that too. But if you're dating above your tax bracket, it's important to understand what's important to them versus what you think is important to them. So a lot of people are under the impression, because of social media, that wealthy men only want 22-year-old baddies. They don't. That's just what you see, because in that dynamic where it's a rich old guy and a hot 22-year-old who's like an Instagram baddie, you're going to see shopping hauls from Chanel and Louis Vuitton and stuff like that posted all over their social media, because these are flashy, superficial, and vain people. She's dating him for money. He's dating her for her looks. Okay? Equally as shallow. But then you have men of substance, men who are providers, men of means, and they're looking for something a little bit more substantial. And these are men who marry somebody based off of how much they love them, how much they enjoy their company, and whether or not they want her to be the mother of their children. Typically, these are men who come from money, so generational wealth. Self-made men typically do go for the 22-year-old Instagram baddies. The way I realized this, though, is because I was talking to my coworker. I've recently lost 85 pounds, and when I say I have nothing to wear, I mean it. I have nothing to wear, and I'm going to buy an outfit that I can afford, but that looks nice and classy and tasteful and stuff like that. And she goes, well, what about like a designer bag or shoes? And I said, what about them? Like, I've never been on a date with a straight man who could tell you that I'm wearing Prada shoes or Yves Saint Laurent bag. If they do, he's at least... Okay, I know what you're thinking. What do you think of this one? What shoes? Okay, we're gonna try this one next. Okay, what do you think of this one? I had to get an extra large because my boobies wouldn't fit in the large. It has pockets. I don't know what shoes to wear though. And this can go up. I'll get a strapless bra. I don't know, is the length weird? Does it make me look fat? Hold on, let me put this one on without the bra. Hold on. Okay. Does that look better? I will wear a bra, don't worry. I don't know what shoes. You can tell my underwear. You can see my underwear. Oh no.
And after seeing this video, you can understand why. It doesn't seem like you're masculine. Seems like you dress pretty feminine. You take care of yourself. Didn't sound to me like you were superficial. most of the men keep on telling you, most of the men that you're going to run into, they're not superficial people. Even if they have money, they're not superficial. They're looking for somebody that doesn't cause drama, chaos. That doesn't mean that you can't be yourself, that you can't be fun and wild and the crazy one in the life of the party. It just means that you don't need to be out there being the life of the party in men's DMs and in men's bedrooms. That's what that means, right? You still have your personality and, you know, be a socialite or whatever you want to do. This just goes to show you that men been telling you, you can get a man on that level. It's just, you need to be fit, feminine, and friendly. A lot of modern women are not any of those things.
Where exactly am I failing when I am working 80 hours a week? I am taking the only jobs that will hire me. I have put in 477 applications over the last 2.5 years. Not even gotten a call back once.
Why do you think?
You tell me. You're a job creator.
But I don't know your resume. You know your life better than I do. Why do you think you have not gotten a call back on 477?
Because I do not have a degree.
Okay.
Because I do not have a degree, because I could not afford one.
Okay.
I live in an area where the physical job market is very limiting.
Where do you live?
I live in rural Texas.
Okay.
So in that, like in the town that I grew up in, for instance, there are 8 jobs, period.
Does your family live there? Mom, dad, everybody's in that same city?
Everybody was at one point.
Okay.
Most of them are dead now.
Okay, sorry to hear.
It is what it is. It's poverty. You know, we're kind of used to that on this side.
Why do you feel like you're a victim? Why do you feel like you're a victim? Why do you feel like the way you speak, like, you know, you're the victim where all this happened to you?
Because I exist and things happen to
But why do
you,
you see
and
yourself
as
as a
such,
victim?
things happen, and that's why I say that they happen
You're
to
a
me.
good-looking guy. Why
Thanks.
do you think you're a victim? Why do you think you're somebody that's got into a situation because it's not fair what happened to me? Let me give you a couple options.
Sure.
Are you open to leaving the city you're in?
I've already left it.
So what city?
I've left multiple cities.
So if somebody else gave you a job in a different place, you'd be
100%.
willing to move there.
100%.
Okay. On your resume,
It says that.
What do you have on your resume? Skill set. What do you offer?
Transportation expertise, logistics expertise.
You consider yourself a hard worker.
I mean, I feel
You
like
said
80 hours a week.
That's a
something like
hard
that.
worker.
Sure.
How about we do this? How about I interview and I give you a job? Would you move to Fort Lauderdale?
Ooh, man, that's Florida. Sure, why not?
Would you move to Fort Lauderdale?
Sure, why not?
How about you and I document this? After this, you come, I do an interview with you, and I give you a job. And let's see what you do 90 days later.
Okay, and I'll look up your company and all that kind of stuff, and I'll see it. But
you
like,
see what just happened
regardless,
right there? But
Mike,
watch what you just did.
Sure.
You just said you applied to 477 companies who's not gone back to you.
Yeah.
A business owner who's hiring aggressively just made an offer to you. You said you're willing to move. Then you said, I'll look at it. You became selective.
I didn't
You
say I look at it.
contradicted
If you'd let
yourself.
me finish my sentence.
Go ahead. I want to hear it.
I would like to look into your company to
Yeah.
see exactly what you guys do,
You would like to.
because I don't know what you guys do.
Okay.
So as far as I'm concerned, I may be wasting my time going. If you guys are a finance company, if you guys are a bank or something like that, I don't have the certifications. I don't have the degrees. So even interviewing me
But
would be
what
a
if
moot
I
point.
gave you a job, period, to work 80 hours a week? Would you take it? And I paid you a reasonable wage.
Are we talking a livable wage or a reasonable wage?
What do
and
you make
whose
right
version
now?
of reasonable are we
What do you
talking
make
about?
right
Your
now?
version of reasonable or my version
You're
of
being selective. It's going to work against you.
I mean, I'm not trying to get a job. Originally, I was
My
trying to
offer is
ask you
off
where the
table.
moral felt.
My offer's off the table
Okay, that's
because
fine.
you're going to be difficult to work with.
Okay, sure.
Patrick Bet David just offered you a job, brother. That's probably going to be selling insurance. But I think his thought process is, if you're working 80 hours a week, why not just take that 80 hours and just put it over here? I mean, if you working 80 hours a week, you're going to fall forward with what he's probably going to do. He's going to bring you down to Florida. He's going to pay you. It's not going to be, you're not going to be rich, first off, but he's going to pay you and hook you up with some of the people on his team. And then he says, this guy's a hard worker. He's a hustler. He wants a job. Teach him everything you know. And you take that zeal and that energy and you start selling insurance. You said you didn't have a job. Okay. Are you willing to move? All right. Come down to Fort Lauderdale. We'll get you set up. Can't make an excuse, man. I mean, do you want to make money or not?
Nobody's
Change it till he wanna
nobody's
change.
gonna tell a man no, because there's always a woman
That will
who
say
has not
yes.
learned.
Mommy taught me that. She said you need to learn what you will handle, what you won't handle. She said because a woman will always be willing to handle what you want. So figure out what you want and what you don't want and be okay with that. And that's some stuff I remember. And then she also told me one thing too, which makes me not like, I never asked for a boy's Instagram passwords or codes to his phone, because mommy would tell me. She told me this. She said, a man would cheat if you know everything and if you know nothing. A man would cheat if he's 10,000 miles away or if he's in front of your face. So if a man is going to be disloyal, he just going to be disloyal. And because of that, I just feel like, okay, bet.
I haven't gotten to the stage where I just accept a man cheating for cheating. I haven't.
I don't think she's saying accept a man. I think she's just saying, like, there's no excuse. Like, a man's going to do it if you're in front of his face, dogging, like, basically being on his ass, where you going? Or if you're at the house doing nothing. She's just basically saying, like, don't worry yourself. Like, don't go through men's phones. Don't.
Oh no, I
go.
wouldn't. Yeah.
And that's what she was trying to teach me. Like, don't ask for passwords. She was like, a man is going to do what he wants to do. Either you trust him or you don't. And I feel like that's giving me so much peace.
Don't trust no nigga, no.
Did your mom tell you what to look for in a man? Did your mom tell you this is how you find a guy of integrity, a guy that has some substance to him, a guy that's responsible, a guy that knows how to take accountability, a guy that knows how to take care of his family? Did she tell you any of that? How do I spot that? How do I spot a good man? I know you guys probably think that this is something that is like, oh yeah, she's putting me on game. But what she's teaching you to do is keep your defenses up. And if you always have your defense up, a good man is going to walk right in front of you, but you're scanning for the red flags. You're always in a state of caution. You're always in a state of survival. And when the man is doing the things that you asked him to do, that you wanted him to do, he going to be love bombing you. And when he's saying, okay, well, let me back up. You said you wanted me to back up. Well, you're not chasing. The man that I would want would chase, and he would know the balance between chasing. And it's going to be a continuous game, a game that never ends. And you're going to be wondering why you miss a chance with a good man.
Hi, my name is Ashley. I haven't pooped in 4 days. I work an 8-hour shift. I have 6 shots of espresso and 2 double bags of black stiff hot tea. Welcome to fucking Jackass.
And not one of them women in the back is going to say, hey, just be careful. You're going to be in the ER, bent over, stomach hurting, because you're doing it for the gram. Because you're doing it for the talk. Y'all want to play games until that ER bill is $3,000. Okay.
Not that I think I have the most interesting love life, but I did it again. I don't know how I did it. So to make a short story long, about a month ago, I gave this bartender my number and I ended up going home with him that night. Whatever you want to say about me, sure. I don't think anything of it. We kind of just like lose contact. Except like not really. I don't see him again is the point I'm trying to make. Then maybe like a couple weeks later, like I'm on the dating apps and I match with this guy. Oh, important thing to note is that both of these guys are Irish, so you can tell where the story is going, like straight off the boat from Ireland. Don't think anything of it, match with this guy. We are chit-chatting, we're trying to plan a date. Timelines don't really match up, so it's just kind of like, whatever. Yesterday he texted me and he was like, what are you doing this week? It's Thanksgiving week. I'm home with family and doing all of that fun stuff, and tell him that. And he was like, well, I'm going to be bar hopping on Wednesday. I was like, oh, like I probably have plans at night, but I get off of work early. Any chance you're going to be around early? And he was like, yeah, I also get off at noon, like would be totally happy to meet up for a drink in the early afternoon or late afternoon, whatever. So I was like, okay, like where were you thinking? He was like, well, I was thinking of hitting like my like favorite spots, like the Upper East Side. And I was like, oh, like we're in the Upper East Side because all my friends live there. So he lists out these 3 bars. There's one bar that he points out that is the bar that the bartender works at. And then it hits me, oh my God, you're both straight off the boat from Ireland. So I say to him, I was like, not that I think you all know each other, but since you mentioned this bar, and I send that text, and as I'm typing my next question, like asking if he knows that bartender, he goes, I already know what you're going to say, and the answer is yes. I was like, oh, shit. How? How do you know him? And he was like, yeah, you may or may not have been in my apartment before. Roommates? Like, oh, so I asked him, like, how long have you known this? And he goes, I only just found out. And I was like, oh, and you didn't tell me anything? He was like, that's a story from when we grab a drink together. And so I was like, okay. So, long story short, I'm getting a drink with him tomorrow, and I will find out about how they found out that they were both. Yeah.
This man is playing the game at a high level. He's going in for the kill. I heard the songwriter say, it ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. Be careful out there.
Hey, my name's Mandy. I'm about to go tell my clients that they don't qualify for as much as they thought they did because I just got the husband's pay stubs and there's child support taken out each week for a kid that I'm pretty sure the wife doesn't know about. Welcome to Jackass.
Well, I guess while we're figuring that out, we need to also figure out what the wife is trying to qualify for. Because it sounds like the wife is on the phone with you. Men don't know about it. Trying to figure out how much money she can spend. So apparently she don't know something about him and he don't know something about her.
I've been on some terrible first dates, okay? But this most recent first date I just went on might actually take the cake. I mean, this story is almost too good to be true. It sounds like I'm making it up. I wish I was. okay? I was on Hinge. Yep, I was on Hinge. Again, Max, what the fuck are you on Hinge for? It sucks. I'm a hopeless romantic. I want love. I just want to find wife. Fuck. Sue me. I'm on Hinge, right? I matched with this girl. She's gorgeous. Latina, 5'6". She's got photos with family, with dogs, all types of stuff. The only red flag right off the bat, though, she doesn't have many prompts. Like, no prompts at all. No bio, nothing about her, just pictures. But she's got pictures of her dog, of her family. No Van Cleefs, no fancy cars, nothing, right? So I'm thinking like, all right, we don't have a club girl. We got a nice little holy girl. Perfect. Let's see what this is about. We match. We're instantly talking. But honestly, the one red flag I ignored right off the bat was she was very quick to be like, let's meet up. All right. It was a little too quick. It caught me off guard, but I was just thinking like, look, usually I'm a slow burn, and maybe that's my problem. Maybe I got to change that. Maybe I got to change and just be a little bit more quick with it. All right. So this girl, literally very few messages in, is like, sends me her address and is like, pick me up. Let's go get a drink tonight. And I'm thinking like, fuck, that's scary, but also like, maybe this is hot. Maybe I'm into this. Maybe she's just like knows what she wants, right? Maybe I need a girl like that. So I'm like, fuck it. All right, let's do it. Again, we matched an hour ago. Not even, right? But I'm like, fuck it. I got nothing going on. I'm down for a drink. What's the worst that can happen? Right? What's the worst that can happen? Well, the worst fucking happened. I go pick up this girl, right? She gives me an address. It's in a neighborhood that's not too far from me, but honestly, not a neighborhood I'd partake in. It's not a neighborhood I'm going to very often. All right? It's just not. So I'm instantly a little like, all right, whatever. I hit the Google Maps and I'm like, all right, it's down there, but I'll pick her up. Fuck it. What's the worst that can happen? So I go pick up this girl. I send her a message when I'm there, right? I text her. I say I'm outside. She goes, okay, coming, right? I see her walk out the door. She looks stunning. I mean, this girl is beautiful. Beautiful Latina girl, like 5'6", brown hair. She got big blue eyes. I've never seen anything like it. I was in love. So we start driving to the local bar. Keep in mind, I just got a new car, right? Nice car. I'm doing well for myself. This is the best I've ever done financially. I got a bunch of side hustles going on. I'm living life right now. So I just bought this new car. I was excited to pick up my first date in it. And we're driving, right? We're driving, and out of the corner of my ear, I hear the doors lock. And I'm thinking, like, that's kind of weird. That doesn't usually happen. And I noticed she locked the door. And I was like, why'd you do that? And she goes, oh, no, you know, just cause I like safety. And I was like, all right, whatever. We keep driving. We get to the bar, right? And I go out, get out of the car, and I go to open her door. And I tell her to, like, hold on, I'm going to go open the door for you. I get out of the car, and I go to open the door. The door's fucking locked, right? The door's locked. She's in the car. And I just realized I left my fucking keys in the middle console. The middle console, all right? Because it's keyless. So sometimes I'll just lay it right under the console because like, I don't want to put it in my pocket. I don't like putting it on the door because it makes too much noise. You know? You feel me? So I'm opening the door and I'm like, oh, okay, it's fucking locked. And I'm like, open the door. It's locked. I'm laughing about it, right? And she just looks at me and she starts smiling. Like the Joker in a fucking bad movie, bro. Like, I can't get that. It's engraved in my mind, the face she was making. It was creepy as fuck. And she won't unlock it. And at this point, I'm a little concerned because I'm like, what are we doing here? Unlock the fucking door. Like, let's go. And she won't do it. And she starts laughing, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? This is weird, right? I see her go reach around in the console and she picks up my keys and starts dangling them at the window. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Open the door. Like, you're funny. He looks at me again, right? And goes, with the keys dangling, and goes, watch this. And I see her climb from the passenger seat into the driver's seat. At this point, my heart's sinking to my ass cheeks a little bit. I'm thinking, like, this isn't really that funny. This isn't really a joke because I don't know you. And now I'm a little concerned as like, what even is this? Like, what is my life right now? She hops in the driver's seat, starts the car, bro, pushes the ignition thing. Like I said, it's keyless, but she has the keys. And I'm thinking like, oh, hell no. I just spent this money on this brand new car. Like, I don't let no one drive my fucking car. Like, even if my dad's got to move that shit out of the driveway for a quick second, he ain't touching it. Call me and I'll move it myself. She is in the driver's seat and I hear the gear shift. She puts that bitch in reverse, starts reversing out of the parking spot. I'm like, yo, are you fucking kidding me right now? And I'm banging on the door, right? I realistically, as much as I said I'm gonna break down this window, I don't want to do it. I just got the car. This bitch reverses the car, pulls out of the parking lot and dips, bro. She just stole my fucking car. It's actually crazy telling this story because like in the moment, like you're not believing what's actually happening. So your reaction is like, are you mad? Are you like, I'm fucking confused. I start to panic a little bit because I'm like, I don't even know this girl. Now that I think about it, she had 0 prompts on her profile. I didn't see an Instagram. For all I know, the photos were just all made, like this is a setup scam. Like this is what she does on these dating apps. Now, the one peace of mind I had during this whole situation and why I wasn't tripping so much is because, like I said, I was doing well for myself. I was doing these side hustle things, doing these lawsuit claim things on this PayMe app and making extra money than I even knew what to do with at the time. So when I bought the car, I paid extra for that low jack shit, right? So it could track the car anywhere it went. And I remembered that I paid for it. So I pull up on my phone and it has the option to kill the fucking engine. So I kill the fucking engine. I kill the engine and I keep the doors auto locked so they can't open it even if you have the key because it's some like emergency system. Instantly, I dial 911. Yo, 911, I just went on a first date. It went terrible. My car got jacked. But I live in LA, right? So the cops take fucking forever. I tell the cop the situation. I'm like, look, the car is only down the street. I know where it is. I have it on the app, but she's in the fucking car. And he's like, all right, we will get someone on it right away. So as I'm waiting for the cops to come, I go up to my car and I start cussing at the girl because she is locked in my car, right? She starts fucking with her lipstick. She's like writing shit in my car she's fucking with my shit, bro. And I don't know what to do because realistically, yeah, I can unlock the car and let her run out, right? But also it's like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to hit the girl. I don't know what to do. So logically, and the smart thing, sorry, I keep coughing. Logically, the smart thing I think to do is just wait for the cops to come. So 10 minutes pass by. The cops actually were on it fast as fuck. They get there and they arrest the girl, bro. I'm like, this is actually insane. What's going on right now? I tell the cop the situation and they are fucking hysterically laughing. And now that they're there and they already arrested the girl, I can laugh with them a little bit because I'm like, this is fucking insane. And they told me they've been looking for this girl because she's been on Hinge doing this same exact shit to guys, trying to steal their car, trying to just rob them, whatever. And somehow no one's reported them on Hinge. They said within the last 3 weeks, they had like 5 other dudes report the same problem, call the police on this specific girl. They think it's the same girl, but the same exact issues. So because my car was right there, they obviously let me get it right away, but they had to do all this paperwork. She lipsticked some shit in my car, but honestly, after a detail, it wasn't too bad. But like, this was actually the most insane thing that ever fucking happened to me. And this just made me realize like why I don't want to fucking date on apps anymore, bro. Like, this is insane how with technology and the way we use it, Now everybody can just lie about some shit and it's fucking scary as hell. And I went on a terrible first date, got my car jacked, got it back, and I didn't get laid. The fuck?
And these modern women say that it's the men that are at fault. It's the men that are a problem. And we continue to see that these modern women don't really have any sense of their own.
I hate men. I've heard this from women my entire life. It's so common these days to hear women say, all men are blank. Men ain't. And grouping them together and casting a judgment on the entire sex. And I've just never felt that way. In circles of women, they would often say, well, you probably don't feel this way towards men because you haven't experienced blank, insert the plethora of traumatic instances that can happen with men. And when I would share my stories that I often had, they would be like, well, you have all the reason to hate men, why don't you? Women's resentment towards men is not entirely misplaced, obviously. Look around at the world, abroad, and in our own local communities. When I think of the main reasons why women feel such hatred towards men, I just don't see a world where we correct those issues without men. Often the force required to correct the ferocity of evil-filled men is the ferocity of good-filled men. Obviously, women too. Men in their grounded, higher state are a force to be reckoned with. Okay, quick story time. I was a teenager walking into a store with my little brother, and to my right, a car pulls up full of men, waving a gun, trying to coerce me to get into the car and kidnap me. I moved my brother to the side, and as I did, this old cowboy was walking out of the store towards us, saw everything that was happening, and he puts his hand on his back pocket to reach for his gun, and the car saw what he was doing and immediately drove off. And I'll never forget this moment, because it was this crazy juxtaposing scene of men in their absolute unhinged nature, and then men in their beautiful protector, higher nature for someone he didn't even know. And it really did show how men can be a part of the solution to the problems they also create. I don't know if you know, but men account for 80% of the suicides in the United States. And I encourage you to listen to this incredible podcast. I have it up right here. It's called Young Men Are Quietly Giving Up. And this really alarms me as we're moving into a time where we really, really need strong men. Many women have absolutely no freedoms in different corners of the earth. And I'm just going to speak to the modern Western world for a second. In women's attempts and pursuit for male accountability, I feel like it has hardened so many women's outlook of men altogether. And you got a modern dynamic now where women are walking around incredibly jaded, and they project this energy onto men in their entirety, and then feel a lot of resistance to having accountability themselves. Like a collective grievance that turned into an absolving of looking into the mirror. We can so often become the archetype of the thing we protest. I believe reestablishing a sense of sacredness between the sexes is going to be a big part of the solution here. And both sexes have a lot of work to do here. Objectification is such a big part of this to men, and I hope we can continue to hold men accountable while also as women taking ownership of the parts that we should, like when we electively objectify ourselves and further feed into that energy that in the end doesn't serve us, and be a bit honest with that. I'm curious if you've had a journey with your relationship to men and how you see us all walking forward unified together.
Guy in the comments said the man hating on social media is causing good men to pull back. If we are vilified, no matter what we do, it's strongly tempting just to withdraw. And this is something that I've talked about multiple times. Y'all are going to push a man, a good man, because the trash men are going to stay up here and they're going to stay in your face. But you're going to push the trash men out of society, or the good men out of society. They're going to hear what you're talking about and they're just going to back away. That's going to be it. Then you're going to be online talking about where are all the good men. Well, you pushed them away. They heard your message loud and clear. And now what do you have left?
A lot of women do not want to accept the fact that men do not learn you through long paragraphs, emotional speeches, and all of the things that you feel like you want to nag and tell him all the time. They do not learn that way. They only learn you through patterns in your behavior. They learn from what you do way faster than what you say. If you're new to me, hey girl. If you're a returner, then you know we talk about behavior, psychology, emotional discipline, and how to date and love men without losing yourself. My content is for all women, but I do have a soft spot for lover girls because I feel lover girls need a lot of the advice that I give. I consider myself a lover girl as well, but I don't operate in the traditional space of what a lover girl is. My version of lover girl does not mean being consumed by no man. My cup is full outside of the man that I'm with. I love him very much, but even without him, I am good. Even if he has an energy shift, I am good. I know how to ride the highs and the lows of a relationship and through dating. I am a former psych major. I did not go on to be a therapist, but because of that, I tend to look at things a little bit differently. I want the girls to start being a little bit more strategic about the things that they do and the way they go about dating and in their relationships. The reason a lot of women feel unheard in their relationships is because you're trying to communicate to a man the way that a woman would understand things. You're talking from intuition, emotion, and connection. And men are just not wired to process things in the way that we do. Men's brains are wired around action, outcome, and environment. So you can tell a man your boundary and he'll listen, but he isn't going to actually learn you and learn that boundary. He's not going to learn it until you actually start to live it and demonstrate it. Let me say that again because some of y'all need to write it down. Men do not learn your boundaries from you speaking them. They learn your boundaries from you demonstrating them and them feeling it. Make him feel it. A man can ignore your words, but he cannot ignore an energy shift. He cannot ignore a change in your behavior. He cannot ignore lack of access to you. That is why you can tell a man something 10 times in 10 different ways and nothing changes. But the minute you start showing up different, now he's listening. Now he's paying attention. Now he's, oh, something's different. Men follow what consistently feels good and they avoid what doesn't. It's basic conditioning, it's psychology, it's human behavior. But with men, it's even more apparent. If he gets warmth, softness, femininity, and reassurance when he does something right, he will continue to do right. If he gets distance, less access, less emotional availability when he does something wrong, not having an argument, not throwing a tantrum, just an energy shift, he will correct himself. Because now there's a consequence. A lot of you don't realize how much power you actually have because you keep using the wrong tools. You're communicating like you're a teacher when you should be communicating like the environment. You are the environment. The environment always wins. Let me give you an example. You tell a man that you don't like last minute plans. He says, okay, I understand. The next week he does it again. You do not over communicate. You don't keep telling him over and over again. You simply make yourself unavailable. When he texts you at 6, asking if you can go out at 7, you tell him, oh no, I already have other plans, but maybe we can try again another time. Cool, calm, neutral, no attitude. That moment will teach him more than you ever could in a 2-minute rant. It made him feel the consequence. He feels your standard now. Behavior is going to teach faster than words could every single time. And let me add this because my lover girl seems to struggle in this area. You think soft means letting things slide. No, baby. Emotional discipline has nothing to do with being silent. It means soft. It means controlled. It means strategic. You can correct a man and still be feminine. You can set a boundary and still be warm. The balance is in the mix. So teaching a man isn't about manipulating him. It's about showing him through your actions that this is the version of himself that's going to get the most access to you. You have to understand that men are responsive creatures. So if inconsistency works, he'll be inconsistent. If disrespect works, that's what he'll do. Men love women that make them feel good. So if treating you right gives him love, softness, femininity from you, that's what he'll do without you ever having to beg him. Use your behavior as a lesson. Behavior speaks its own language. And the good thing about it is men already speak it fluently. So just use it to your advantage.
And this is why you didn't go on to be a therapist. You know, I'm a psych major too. And I would say that anybody that went through that, they would know that this is toxic and you don't need to be doing this. If y'all's relationship and dynamic is like this, then you don't need to be in the relationship. A woman here says, last week I called my man 3 times, and it took him hours to call me back. And he sent me what I felt was an excuse. Okay, so once again, you're the judge of what is and isn't an excuse, right? So this is what happens with modern women. They think that they're the end all be all in relationships, which is why it's the problem, which is kind of what you're explaining right now. And she says, no problem. I turned my phone off for the rest of the night. So basically retaliation, toxic behavior. I turned my phone off for the rest of the night. When I turned it back on, he had blown up my phone. When I called him back, he told me he hadn't slept all night. Exactly. Don't play with me because you will feel what you've done to me. And she liked that comment. You know, once again, as a psych major, you would know that both of these people, at the very least, are engaging in toxic behavior. I know you probably think that you got a one-up on this guy, but what's going to happen is these men that you're dealing with will adapt to the type of foolish games that you play, and you'll play it better. You'll move on from that man with the same mindset, thinking that, oh, he gonna learn to play with me. I done leveled up and I done one up and I done got another man that'll do X, Y, and Z. And you're gonna be on TikTok talking about what you did and your triumphs, and you're gonna learn that that man that you got with knows how to play the game a little bit better than your last person, and he gonna do to you what you didn't think could be done because you were so smart. Y'all are both toxic.
A couple days ago, I posted a video about how I divorced the good guy after being married for 8 years, but we were together for 21 years. And that's gotten quite the attention, 2 million views at this point. I have made some follow-up videos saying that I would eventually tell my story the way I want to tell it on my own terms, because that's what I came here for. I've been very apprehensive because the comment section is gnarly. And I know that the reason why I left is not the same story as a lot of people, and it is very selfish. The reason why I left was very selfish. And I'm ready for all the hate that's going to come, because I know from that comment section and from my inbox that there are so many women who are afraid to say the same thing. Let's start here. People fail to realize a man can be a good guy, a great father, but a horrible husband. The reason why I decided to pick this comment is because it's the #1 liked comment. That means a lot of people resonate with that. A lot of you are married to a good guy on the outside, but not a good guy on the inside. That was not the case. Nobody will be able to convince me on any video and any comment that my ex-husband is a bad guy. I share one tidbit of information that I considered emotional neglect and that I was settling, but I accepted about him, was that he couldn't tell me that he loved me. And that was not an exaggeration. A question that I get a lot is, did you tell him you loved him? I did, but I stopped doing that after a while. My ex-husband and I met when I was 16. We had our first child when I was 19. A lot transpired over that time. In the beginning, yes, he could tell me that he loved me. So much to unpack there, and I will go more into, what happened over the years, if that will help someone. But people are wondering, why did I leave? Why did I leave? I left because I wanted to. I left because I didn't want to be married anymore. I left because I didn't enjoy marriage. There were a lot of things wrong in that relationship, and I think that we had grown apart. I never felt like I could be myself. I never felt like I could be myself. If you go through my videos, you will see a transformation happen, and that transformation did not happen until I divorced my husband. I've never felt more like myself than I have in my entire life. I now know what love feels like. All the things that my husband did to show me that he loved me, I can do for myself. And that might be selfish. And I knew I was going to break my children's heart. And we have a lot to unpack here. But I left because I wanted to. Because essentially I was in a relationship with somebody that I really didn't even like. And I felt like he didn't like me. He was attached. 21 years is a long time. We had a lot of appearances to upkeep. There was no abuse happening. There was years and years of emotional neglect on his part and mine. We resented each other. I did him a favor. Let's start here.
Well, I mean, with the way that you're speaking, it's likely that there was some stuff that was said. I feel like your spirit is reckless. That's what I feel like. I feel like you're very nonchalant. I feel like you don't care a lot. You just kind of say whatever you want to. And, you just kind of let the chips fall where they may. Right? And so, if you offend somebody, who cares? Who cares? I don't care. You're just going to have to get over it. And I think a lot of times, modern women with that attitude, this is just my read on the situation, just off of the video. I don't know anything else. I could be dead wrong. But a lot of times, modern women, they'll have that attitude. If a man were to have that attitude, then it would be a problem. Well, he wasn't really doing anything wrong. I just felt like he didn't like me. You really didn't like him either. I'm glad you said that. A lot of women would get on here. I will say you gave us a lot of information that a lot of modern women wouldn't even give us. They would say, well, he did all of this to me. He did this, and they would slide in things as to justify why they left the man. And basically it would be to say that he was the problem, right? At least you're taking some form of accountability. Although I do think that a lot of times modern women, they are a bigger problem than they actually think they are. And you're telling us right now, well, my happiness is more important. I know that I'm going to break my kid's heart, but it's all about me. And really, honestly and truly, that's what gets a lot of marriages, a lot of relationships.
Here's some no BS, no dating advice in the new year. I got y'all. First and foremost, you're hearing it from the source. Reformed F-boy, reformed avoidant, reformed swamp monster, reformed dusty ass potato, Just you're hearing it from, well, actually, I'm not that bad. You're probably thinking about your Dusty SX Esteban. I ain't that bad. So, real talk, the situationship ain't going to work out. It's just not. You know why? Because men like women that they want to not have other men hook up with. If you're able to holler at Sean, John, and Esteban, then he's not the one, sweetie, because he doesn't care enough to protect and be jealous. Jealousy is the number one sign that a man gives a damn. And you're probably right. He's jealous and he's just hitting it casually, and it's making you drive yourself crazy. Don't fall into Delulu. That's next level, just controlling insecurity. You should have left his ass a long time ago. 2, it's not that hard. It's really not that hard with the man. If a man knows that you're the prize, okay? Like, don't act like we're just going to switch up the rules all of a sudden. Since the jump, men have been going to war, fighting gladiators, beasts, mammoths, all that just for some butt. So don't act like he's not doing a lot because he's busy, or he's not texting me because he's going through a lot, or it's work, or this or that. Hell to the hell no. Men used to literally start wars for some butt. So don't act like he's like, oh, he's busy. He's that. He's not. He's not. He just don't like you. Then why is he still texting me? Why is he da-da-da-da? Why is he breadcrumbing me? Another thing about breadcrumbing, it's because you're eating the damn table bread. Girl, why the hell would I give you a tomahawk steak if you're going to pay the same tomahawk steak price for some damn table bread? It don't make business sense, shorty. So when you say, well, he's breadcrumbing me, you got to stop eating the damn bread. You got to put your foot down and say, I deserve X, Y, Z. I deserve 3 sides, potatoes, greens. I want an appetizer and a dessert. You feel me? And finally, I'm going to tell you real talk. The majority of the stuff that you're stressed about, the majority of what you're confused about with the man is just because he's lonely and horny. That's just it. He's just lonely and horny. Lonely, horny, and with a level of insecurity of him needing to feel validation from other women. That's the reality of it. And another thing, when it comes to dates, you may think it was a good date and then he didn't want to talk to your ass anymore. That's not because you guys had a connection. Mofo's just good at dating. That's just it. And you're probably thinking, Eli, why waste my time? Why waste my time? It's still fun. It's still fun to holler at girls. If an Uber Eats order comes to my house that I didn't pay for, I'm still going to eat a little bit of it. Like, even if it's some food I don't like that much. But at the end of the day, you got to see love dating relationships as a journey of not to get a partner, but a journey to be a better partner to yourself. These men are going to be just self-reflections of your insecurities. These men are just going to present you challenges to put your foot down and set boundaries. These men are literally a hairy, axe-smelling, ninja, freaking American warrior obstacle course for you to love your damn self, for you to respect your damn self, and it's your job to do so, because the man that's left standing is a man that's worth being with. You're so cute. Thank you for riding with me this year. Thank you for listening to my content. Thank you for being a homie. And I can't wait to keep chatting with y'all in 2026. I'm going to get some more sleep. Y'all are super cute. Scrumdiddlyumptious looking ass. I see you, girl. And if you want some help in your healing in the new year, you know where to find me.
I honestly think a lot of women know these things. They want to have an experience with a man that a lot of these other women have had an experience with. You look at the T app, and for some of these modern women, they already know the man is an F-boy. They already know that. But I want to see what the hype is about. I want to be in on the trend. I want to talk to my friends about... Think of this man as Dubai chocolate. It hits TikTok. It's all the rage. I want to say that I tried Dubai chocolate. That's all it is. Men, for a lot of these modern women, are just trends.
I didn't date in 2025, and I don't really plan on dating in 2026, but if I do, here's my your cut list. I would just like to start off and say that if you're not a godly man, you might want to scroll, because you're not going to like me and I'm not going to like you, and you're automatically cut. Thank you so much. You're going to think I'm too strict. Don't care. Okay, let's dive on in. If you don't love Jesus and actively pursue him, keywords actively pursue him, you're cut. Thank you so much. If you actually use Snapchat and mass snap people and mass snap girls, you're cut. We're too grown to be doing that still. If you don't go to church, you're cut. If you don't pray over your meals, you're cut. You got too much to be thankful, grateful for having a full plate of food in front of you. bless it. Thank you so much. If you drive recklessly with me in your car or drive like a moron in general, you're cut. If you vape or smoke, you're cut. I'm not dealing with that. I don't want to argue with you. You're cut. If you eat junk food more than 3 times a week, you're cut. Because I care about what you put in your body. You should care as well. That's a different conversation. You're cut. Okay, thank you so much. If you're addicted to energy drinks, you're cut. I'm not having my husband die at the ripe age of 35. You're cut. Thank you so much. If you cuss regularly, flowing in your sentences, you're cut. That's gross. You're cut. You're unattractive. You're cut. Thank you so much. If you don't prioritize your physical health, you're cut. I be doing that too much for you to not. You're cut. I want my husband, again, to be healthy and live longevity. Thank you. If you don't interact with you when I'm telling you a story, you're cut. Why are you not answering me? Why are you not actively engaging in my conversation? You're cut. I'm not talking to a wall. If I wanted to talk to a wall, I'd talk to a wall. Thank you so much, okay? If you can't bench a plate, you're cut. I can bench a plate. Moving on. This one's important. I should have started off with this one. If you're not willing to wait to marriage to have sex, you're cut. Because I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm doing that. You're cut. That's very strict. I'm strict on other stuff. So if you don't like that, get out. You're cut. Bye. No. Thank you so much. If you are a major gamer, you're cut. Major gamer. If you play video games a little bit, I don't care. But if you're a major gamer, I'm on a game on it. You're cut. I don't care about freaking 2K 2026. You're cut. If you don't have a job, you're cut. If you don't have a car, you're cut. I can make exceptions for that one, but you're most likely going to be cut. I don't make the rules. Yes, I do. If you aren't willing to do ministry with me, not full time, just some ministry, you're cut. Because I love Jesus way too much to not with my husband, so you're cut. You're not my husband then. If you don't like to travel and you don't like outdoors, you're cut. If you don't like being in the sunshine, hiking, you're cut. If you're not funny, you're cut. I'm not being funnier than you, bro. Lastly, if you're addicted to your phone, you're cut. You're cut. If your screen time is above, oh my gosh, if your screen time is above 6 hours a day, you're cut. Half of y'all cut right now. Thank you so much. That's my list. Let me know if I should do a part 2. Peace.
I guess one of my questions would be, if the man, no matter what the age is, was mass snapping women, what would you be trying to get into a relationship with them for anyway? They're already committed to talking to a vast majority of women. Y'all be out here playing around, and then once the new year rolls around or you get to a certain age, then you don't want to play these types of games anymore. Another thing to note is a woman in the comments said, me, a woman, realizing I'm cut, I need to make myself follow that list. Exactly. Y'all be thinking that y'all be the only ones. Listen, I understand where you're coming from, but the problem is y'all wake up one day and just decide, oh, this is what we doing. When men been telling y'all, you need to follow a specific pattern of behavior in order for me to consider you. You don't want to follow that. You've been cut. You've been cut. This is why you making lists, because you're out there looking for losers. Oh, I ain't handling this. I ain't taking it. Nobody told you you had to. As a matter of fact, men told you not to. And now that you've been playing out here with losers and bums, you want to make a list of stuff that a lot of this stuff is like bare minimum. It's basic. You shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. But now you want to totally cut them off. Get a grip.